today? Good. It's Friday, which is a step in the right direction. So you guys, this week, it's environmental education, right? Can somebody tell me one thing new that they've learned this week about environmental education? Because I know you did your homework. Some of you were doing your quizzes 20 minutes ago. Anyone learn anything new this week?
Kentucky is one of the only states with a environmental education council at the state level.
Right, okay. What else? You all knew everything there was to know about environmental education before you started? No?
It's different than environmentalism.
Okay, and what's the difference?
Environmentalism is sort of trying to convey an opinion, and environmental education is just trying to give them the facts to make their own.
Right, so environmentalism is advocacy, right? It's, I'm gonna tell you, there's a certain issue, pick an environmental issue.
Coal.
Coal, wow. Funny that one would come up. Okay, so coal. So there's a lot of environmental activists that are gonna look at you and say, coal is bad, you know, all these companies in Eastern Kentucky are terrible, right? Okay, valid point. We know that there are environmental drawbacks to coal. However, does anybody have solar panels at their house? We had this conversation during the climate change thing. How many in this room actually use solar? Raise your hand. One. There's about 20 of us in this room. Can any of us truly bash coal when we all have a charged cell phone right now and that cell phone was charged with good old Kentucky electricity that comes from coal? No. But you can teach about the environmental impacts of mining, processing, burning coal. That's okay. You're giving people the facts. That's environmental education versus Eric and I going and chaining ourselves to a fence around a mine someplace, right? What do you think is more effective? Environmental advocacy or environmental education?
Education.
Why?
Because it's unbiased and it gives you the facts.
Yeah, it's not in your face, right? Like, I don't know about all of you, but we just had an election and there's a lot of in your face, on all sides of issues. It gets tiring after a while, right? Like, you hear somebody that has an opinion opposite yours. Do you even listen? Do we really listen when somebody is like hardcore in your face about something? No, we shut down. So that's why those of us in the room that are trained environmental educators, we in our professional lives, we don't advocate for things. We advocate for education. We say, learn all sides of an issue and make your own decisions on that issue. So what we're going to do right now, for most of the day, you guys are going to be the teachers. But for this first part, I'm going to run an activity with you all to get you to really understand and see all sides of an environmental issue. So we're going to look at an issue that's a local Lexington issue. I know from the last class, a lot of you are not from here, but we all live here currently, maybe, or close by. So we're going to look at a Lexington issue. But to start, I want you guys to tell me, what are the benefits, goods, services that all of us get from green spaces, forests, and or natural areas? What benefits, what goods, what services come from this? And it could be a personal thing, it could be an industry thing.
Aesthetically pleasing?
Aesthetically pleasing. If you laugh at my spelling, I will kick you out. Is that right?
Put an A in front.
Hey.
Oh, aesthetically pleasing. I told you not to laugh. Ma'am?
Recreation.
Recreation, I can spell that one.
Water interception?
Water interception. What else?
Connection with nature?
What else?
Cleaning our air?
Sorry.
Maria. Habitat for other animals.
Habitat. There's millions of them.
Carbon sequestration.
Resources?
Resources. Like what kinds of resources?
You can make things out of wood?
And I'm a messy lefty, obviously. Resources, wood, what else?
Temperature regulation.
Uh,
Research.
Research. All right. We could go on until next Friday with our list. I want you guys to look at this list and tell me, are there any of these that are in conflict with each other?
Yes.
Resources like wood and habitat.
Okay. Oh, good, there's another color chalk. Habitat and how do those two compete?
Cutting down trees for wood destroys habitat.
Okay, so if you go into a forest and you want to use wood, which, I mean, look at the doors of your beautiful building. We need those resources. We need paper. We need all of those things. Inevitably, you're going to be cutting down habitat for other species, right? What other conflicts between any of these do you see?
Recreation and research.
Okay, why?
Just like if there's like some sort of like study going on in a certain area, then the researchers probably don't want people like walking through a trail nearby or something like that.
Right. So the forest that I manage in Henry County is mostly for environmental education, hiking, recreation, but I also work with a lot of researchers, and there is one that wants to put up this gas exchange, blah, blah, blah. It's called an eddy flux tower. In order to do that, you've got to block off and secure this whole huge part of the property. I don't really want to do that because then it's going to impact this side of things, the education side of things. Other conflicts that you see?
Resources good, with water interception, cleaning air, and
Temperature?
Okay, so just in this one, when you're looking at big picture, green spaces, forests, you see that there's a tension and a trade-off, right? Carmen's got to be able to do her research. Excuse me, Dr. Carmen has got to be able to do her research. Okay, good, good. Well, you never, so I work with some really stuffy PhDs. I have to call them doctor. So she has to do her research, right? However, at a place like McConnell Springs, I as a taxpayer also want to be able to go there with my kids for recreational purposes. The city wants to preserve it for maybe this reason, but then there may be a builder that says, hey, you know, I mean, McConnell Springs is really small, but maybe there's somebody that wants to use the resources there, right? So there's always going to be a different viewpoint on the same green space, forest, or natural area, all right? What you guys are going to do, I may have spilled coffee on that one, I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? The coffee stain is less on that one.
You can just smell it.
I'm gonna have you guys take about 5 minutes. We're gonna plug through this one really quickly because today is really about you all doing what you need to do and not me not talking as much. So read this and we're gonna come back together. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Did everybody get one? Well, while they're getting this, I'll get a coffee. Come here, leader.
You're getting on with you for long, for maybe 15-ish hours.
I'm not really good.
I had to ask.
Probably you did.
Yeah, we had like 4 people. I don't know if you want 4 people. I can have one. He might want more people, which is, I don't know, you pay him. Did you say volunteer work? I should have. After everything's done with one of them today. And that should be 20, 30, so maybe even 10, maybe also. Yeah. So, you know, there's only that. Yeah. That's not good.
For now, just read your article. Don't worry about what I'm handing out to you. This is just for time purposes, but I'm doing it now. Mhm. Gosh, it's warm in this room, isn't it?
It's probably the water, but I can.
Oh, that's all right. I have a brewery t-shirt on, so. There's no heat in our building currently, so I'm used to like 47 later.
I know where it exists.
Right.
Yeah.
Take about 2 minutes to finish up. I know it's not a lot of time, but all right, so I'm going to cut off your reading there. You are going to be working in groups for some of this, so if you didn't get to the very end, it'll be okay, I promise. So everyone has in front of them another handout that's called What Makes Up an Environmental Issue. Every single issue with the environment contains certain things. And this document lays that out for you. The components of those, an issue, problem or solution for which people have differing values or opinions. Basically, in the United States today, our lives are an issue, right? Everything has differing values and opinions. When you're talking about environmental issues, even more so. Because of all of this right here, right? Those tensions that you look at are what create an issue. People come at these things from different sides with different interests, possibly different benefits at the end. The facts. It's a piece of information that can be verified. It is true. It's not an opinion. It is something verifiable that we know, yes, this is a fact. As you look at environmental issues, it's really important to tease out those facts. We come at a lot of things in our lives based on opinions and feelings and the social construction of something. However, it's really important to find out what are the facts. The players. Those are the individuals and groups involved in the issue. They may view the facts differently, and they may view the issue differently. Values. A value is something that an individual or group finds desirable or important. If you are Carmen and you're doing research, your value of this may be very different than somebody who just goes to the forest for aesthetic pleasure, aesthetic with an A, okay? Community, shared relationships. Culture, the history or practices of a societal unit. Ecology, so the natural ecosystems that make up a place. Economics, the exchange of goods or services for money. So when we're talking before about coal, coal really is not only an environmental issue, but it's a people issue, right? There are people that depend on that, either as the end users of that product, or as the people that work in that industry, or as the people that are in charge of that industry and make billions and billions of dollars. Education, so learning and instruction, the laws, the rules and regulations, personal rights, our individual freedoms, and recreation, so our leisure time activities. Opinions differ greatly from facts in that it's an idea or judgment about the issue, and it can be true or false. A fact is a fact. Opinions may be correct, they may not be correct. Solutions. There are various strategies proposed to resolve the issue. A successful solution involves the players in the decision-making process, takes into consideration what different players value, and reaches a compromise outcome where players are not seen as winners or losers. So you all just read an article about the city of Lexington, which I feel does a really good job of kind of including all of those components on that page. What you're going to do now, I think maybe we'll just, like, half of you kind of break off into that corner, half of you there, you guys do the same thing. You're going to talk about that article, and you're going to go through it, and you're going to analyze the issue from the lens of, this is an environmental issue, these are the players, these are their different opinions and values, and here are some potential solutions. Take, what time is it? I'm sorry.
9:25.
Ooh, 10 minutes? You're gonna have to go through it really quickly, and I
If you
apologize.
want, 2:36, the classroom over there is open for us, and we can use till 11. You can go in there too if you want to spread out more, or our faculty reference room is also open too. So it's your choice.
Yeah, if you wanna go to another room, you said
It's
9:25.
literally right on the other side here. It's 9:25 now.
Be back here at
9:40.
9:40. So take 15 minutes to do this. You're gonna tell us what you came up with, and we will be done with a really quick activity. That could take all day.
It's like split it.
Are we talking about this issue?
Yeah.
Urban expansion?